welcome to Hachi Ramble. Today's anime is going to be Tokyo Revengers. Now I'm absolutely gonna hold myself back from just mindlessly praising this anime. Like, don't get me wrong, that will come in this video. You're gonna hear so many goods and awesomes and fantastics and wonderfuls and any other synonyms you can think of in this video. Most likely because that's how most of my videos are. When I recommend an anime, it's like, oh, this is good, watch it. But I want to go a little more in depth with this anime because I absolutely enjoy it. So let's get this summary on the way. And warning, there will be spoilers. Hopefully on the light side. I will definitely keep it to only spoilers from the anime because I did read the manga. I'm all caught up with that because I am impatient and was like halfway through the anime work. And I was like, what's going to happen next? What is going to happen next? So I ended up like reading 200 plus chapters of the manga. Oh, the manga's good. So Tokyo Revengers is about a 26-year-old guy named Takemichi Hanagaki, and he has a special power. He can time leap. But he doesn't know this, not until one day when he's watching the news and he finds out his old middle school girlfriend and her brother have both died gang-related activities. And so of course he's sad. He's like, oh, that was my one girlfriend. And so he goes out about his day reminiscing until he's pushed in front of a train, and well, he time leaps. He goes back 12 years into the past. Now he logically thinking it's like the afterlife or a dream, and he's like, okay, let me just go about my day like I normally did when I was in middle school, because he's just kind of just thrown in. But while he's in the past, he does run into Naoto, who is Hinata, the girlfriend, little brother. Not thinking much of it, Takemichi tells Naoto, hey, 12 years from now, you're gonna die. And he's like, what? Obviously. And so Naoto believes him and he changes the future. Voila! I mean, come on. If someone was all like, hey, you're gonna die exactly on this day 12 years from now, you're gonna tell me you're not gonna believe them. Like, not even like a simple, I think you're crazy, but let me just mark that date on my calendar. So he does, and he ends up surviving in the future. So they do shake on it when they're in the past, and that turns out to be a trigger for Takemichi to go back to the past in the future. Hinata unfortunately didn't survive again, so the little brother and Takemichi team up together to try to save Hinata in the future by going to the past and changing things. A lot goes on throughout the series. A lot of different timelines. Some successful, some not. Obviously not fully successful because it's still going on. It's very kind of ReZero-ish, sort of, but definitely very different. And I really love the time travel concept in this series. I love time travel in general. And I know time travel is messy, and there's always plot holes and additional questions, but that's absolutely fun for me. Like, one of my favorite movies is Back to the Future. I like when a show has me thinking about it after watching. Like, I constantly wonder if Takemichi remembers like what his future self did in the past, like when he got the jacket from Mikey. Like, I feel like that was a not so subtle hint to, hey, join the gang. Here's my old Letterman's jacket. You're part of the gang. You're awesome. You saved my bro. Future Takemichi leaves, and then he comes back. He's not a part of the gang. So I'm like, did like past Takemichi be like, Mikey, you left your jacket here at the hospital. I'm just here to return it to you. And then Mikey's like, oh, okay, I guess you didn't want to join my gang. Maybe that's why he was a little salty afterwards, where he's like, you need to be useful if you want to join this gang. I don't know. But I think about those things. And that's what I love about time travel. Did Takemichi just like wake up one day and was like, hey, I have a stab wound in my like hand. Where did that come from? I think about these things and I love it, because then I just get all these headcanons and I read copious amounts of fan fiction to fill in the gap. Time travel aside, I like the main character. I like that he's not super strong or powerful. He's not a genius or anything like that. Takemichi is kind of a moron, but it works. It works with creating like conflict in the story, the different timelines, all because he messed up. I'm assuming like time travel and all that stuff isn't very easy. So I like that he's not like all powerful. But Takemichi, he does get to me sometimes. time. Like when he just does things without thinking them through, or he has like a one-track mind, he'll be like, oh, you want me to go with you to this rival gang hideout? Sure, why not? I really want to talk to Baji here. Like that was gonna happen. Like it was just gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Luckily he does have Naoto and a little bit later on Chifuyu to help him plan out his stuff, because boy does he need it. I like that he's dubbed the crybaby hero. And boy, Takemichi is a tank. He gets beat up so much, and every time he does, I can just like visualize this long health bar, because he takes a beating like a champ, and there's other stuff and anything else, he's just like powers through it. I'm like, this boy, he's a tank built right here. Now enough about the main character, so let's talk about the villain real quick. Kiseki is a great villain. I hate him, he does horrible things, but I am in anticipation when he does all the crazy evil stuff that he does. Which is why he makes a great villain. Like, I'm rooting for his downfall, but I'm also wondering what's his next evil plan. Because he is a genius planner, he is amazing, and he knows how to use his geniusness. Props to the villain. Now let's get to the best part of the series, the supporting characters. Now I can sing praise and praise of Mikey. I mean, we all love Mikey. Sano Manjiro is best boy, but I'm gonna at least try to sound a little constructive and not just like a raging fangirl. Mikey is great. Not the best way to start off, but he's a charismatic person. There's a reason why he's the leader of a gang, and it's not just because he's insanely strong and has nice hair. He's just a good character. He's multi-layered. I want to say so much more too, but that would be getting into manga spoilers, and I will not do that. I will not. But read the manga if you haven't already. And while he's physically strong, but he is like mentally kind of weak, and I don't mean he's like dumb or anything like that. It's just that he needs his friends. He needs his support. He cares so much about his family and his friends, but outside of that, he's not that empathetic. He needs those around him to humble him, and you see that a lot in the hospital scene. Like, without his support group, without his gang, Mikey is a completely different person, and it's not good. Now, past Mikey, there's other supporting characters. Draken. I want to say Dragon, but I always say Draken. Draken is like the HR person of the gang. I love it. Any complaints about management, aka Mikey, you go to Draken. Boss says something insensitive, he'll correct him and be like, hey bro, you need to like apologize. Ken is Mikey's best friend, and he's a vital part of Mikey's growth. Kenshin looks tough, and he is, but he's like a softie in the core. Now I'm gonna breeze through the rest of the gang because there's a lot of them, and I don't have the voice to my namesake and ramble on. Just know Chifuyu is best bro. Oh, I guess I should have talked about Baji. I like Baji, but I don't have enough to ramble on about him. I love his hair, but I'm always reminded of the guy from Gantz, the bad guy, like Izumi. And I don't know why. I think it's just the hair. Now in an anime full of boys, let's talk about the women. I really like Kanata and Emma and all the other girls that appear in the series later on, which is a good thing because shonen anime, you tend to typically have like weak development for the women. They're either like the love interest or the medical support person. It's actually been getting better. Personally, I would love to see Hinata like kick someone's butt. She says she knows karate, but in that same sentence, she was all like, too bad I'm not a guy because I'm a weak girl. Really? Just because you're a girl doesn't mean you're weak. You got this, Hina. Now, if there's one big issue I have with Tokyo Revengers, it's their ages. Don't tell me they look like they're in middle school. And then maybe I was a goody in middle school, but I didn't do any of this crazy stuff they did. Well, for one, I wasn't in a gang, so maybe that. But like, these 15, 14-year-olds are like driving motorcycles, stabbing people, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm like, what? Where's the adults at? I don't know, maybe if this was like set in high school, it'd be a little more believable. I don't believe that they're middle schoolers. Although I am reminded every time someone does get stabbed and they're just talking about it, they're like, oh no, they got stabbed. What should we do? We should take them to the hospital. And they're just like talking about it for like 5 minutes over this person that's stabbed, bleeding out on the ground. And I'm like, try to stop the bleeding or something. Alright, so that's probably gonna be my longest video yet. But I really enjoyed this series. Not just the anime, but the manga too. And the fan fiction has given me brain rot, but I'm okay with that. So check out the anime if you haven't yet. It's only one season so far, but I can't imagine it not being renewed for another season. And the manga is sadly almost over. There's only one last arc, but it's just pure entertainment so far. I do want to talk a little bit about the fandom. Now, surprise, surprise, this fandom is a little based when it comes to its watchers. Kind of reminds me of like the Demon Slayer fandom or like My Hero Academia or Attack on Titan. But I'm leaning more towards Demon Slayer. There are a lot of fans like that enjoy it. Obviously, it's a popular anime. But in this fandom, you'll see a lot of, oh, this is gonna be anime of the year. And then for every anime of the year praise, there is a, this is an overhyped average shonen anime. You'll hear that. Or you'll hear the main character has grown as a person and makes you want to root for them. There's gonna be the opposite of that, which is the main character is weak and it's a supporting cast to do anything, and so on and so on. I feel like that was how Demon Slayer was when it first aired, and they were like anime of the year, and it was great. I love Demon Slayer. Check out my Demon Slayer video. So there are like a lot of fans, but there are a lot of people that just don't like Tokyo Revengers. We all are entitled to our own opinion, but sometimes you just get those audience members that are just like, oh no, I don't like it. It's so mainstream. When did mainstream have such a negative connotation to it? I think, you know, hey, it's mainstream. It's like a gateway anime. Someone will watch it and then you'll be like, oh yeah, you like that? Here, let me recommend you some other stuff. And then bam, they're hooked on the anime. Hooked on the anime. But, you know, we all have different tastes and opinions. Peace, love, harmony, blah, blah, blah. So that was a way longer ramble than I thought it would be. But with the power of editing, hopefully it is too long. But who knows? This is Hachi Rambles, not Hachi is quick and to the point. So, like, follow, subscribe. I don't know where you're going to be following. Well, I do have a Tumblr and a Twitter and a Reddit. I actually have one follower on Reddit. Flex in there. But yeah, like, subscribe. Peace out.